Vote like your life depends on it.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote. Vote.
Vote. Vote.
Vote. Vote because it's your chance to be the change you like to see in this country and in your community.
Get out and vote.
If you want to see change in your community, go out and vote.
Vote for yourself. Vote for your future. Vote for what matters to you. Don't make it about a party. Make it about yourself. Vote for what you think is best. Just vote.
CMPRadio.net, man. It's your boy Uncle P, man. I'm here in the studio. Well, I guess this is like the makeshift studio, right? I'm in my office. I'm working, but I have a very important conversation with Ruth Moton. She's running for state representative for the 159th district, and she's running against Brian Kirkland. Ruth Moton, this is her second time running. It's the second time representing. I don't want to say the Republican, endorsement. She has that. But we're going to sit down and we're going to get a nice interview with her, right? Where we try to figure out, who's best, who serves us best, and who serves the 159th best. So I want to introduce you to Ruth Moton. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, we get right into it.
Okay.
Who is Ruth Moton?
You know what? That is the most loaded question that there is. I'm saying for myself, to try and sum up decades of living, of life, and things like that. And honestly, in spite of whatever I may have done in my life, work, so forth, talking about myself is my least favorite thing to do. But anyone who knows me, basically what you see is who I am. Anything to do with helping, individuals is something that I have done. I've grown to learn that it's not what you do, it's who you are. Similar when I see, you, Corey, whomever else out and about, you don't have, and congratulations on that, on the title of yours with the liaison with the DA. But even without that, you were still out there.
Absolutely.
So a title doesn't make or break what you're going to do. I'm a small business owner. I have worked, I've sold real estate. I've worked everything from, every place where I worked, I've started out entry level and been assistant manager, worked my way up. Mom, 3 adult children, 7 grandchildren, married, a woman, I don't know what I leave out. I ran an area in the Midwest between Illinois and Indiana. So taking care of business in a large area, contracts, things of that nature, as far as job performance, isn't something that I have not done in my professional life.
Okay. All right. So you're a worker.
Yes. Thank you. So you helped me to sum it up.
Right. I mean, it'll all come out, and usually, typically, I'll be like, okay, so you're a worker, right? You're a person that when a job is put on the table, you get the work done. No complaints, no arguments. Correct. Whatever it is you have to do, the job will get done.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're a Republican.
Correct.
For the state representative. Explain to the people how you're different from other Republicans.
Well, one thing, as far as to the people, all right, I grew up in Philadelphia. All right. Everyone know majority of people in Philly, they're Democrats. My mother, she still is. But in spite of what party I have ever been, I've always split my ticket. I have always picked and have chosen those who I feel as though, like you said, represent my best interest. Not to just one button for the right, the left. And if I don't have enough information about any particular person, then I never hit their button. So I've been, even in the primary, as you can only vote your party, I still hit each individual button because, again, if I don't know enough information about a person, then I don't feel confident. I'm not going to hit that button just because.
Absolutely. So what would your responsibilities and duties as a state representative be?
Well, as a state representative, definitely, as far as all the communities that make up the 159th legislative district, you represent them. You need to go out, be among the people to find out exactly what the issues are, so that when you are in Harrisburg, when you're in session, different as far as what pertains to your area, what the needs are, when the budget is made, if it's not sufficient enough to cover the needs in your area, then you go back, you address that. If there is a need, a change, or a law that needs to be created, be it for our area, the 159th, or for the state of Pennsylvania, that is something that I would introduce on the floor and do what you have to do to get it passed.
Absolutely. So, have you ever held any type of office before in the great state of Pennsylvania?
No, other than locally, I'm a committee person within my own community, but other than that, no. And I know we're not going back to high school class president or anything of that nature.
So you've never held office, right?
Correct.
And you're asking for the people of the 159th to vote for you. Why
Correct.
should they have that faith in you that you'll do your job?
As like I forestated, just listing my resume work-wise, I've
Mhm.
always done my job.
Okay.
And as far as whether it's the corporate world, whether it's Harrisburg, getting a job, getting the deal done and closed is the same.
Okay. All right. I like
The
that
players
answer.
may change, but the game is still the same. I mean, still the same.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is your platform? What do you hope to change or to help, grow?
Right now, the 159th, whether we realize it or not, we're basically the poorest district in the county. Okay.
Now real quick,
yes.
quick. Can you name all of the cities in
No, I
the
can't, Uncle Pig. Yes, sir. Okay. Parts of Ridley, Eddystone, Parkside, Upland, Chester Township, all of Lower Chi. So that would be Trainer, Linwood, Marcus Hook, part of Upper Chi, Twin Oaks. And I said
Very
Parkside.
good.
Oh,
very
thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, back to that question. What is your platform?
Well, you know what? Well, I don't know if you may have recalled, but since 2017, when I first started attending the meetings for Chester Water Authority, because I myself have Chester Water Authority. So as a consumer, then I wanted to go and to see exactly what was going on. Now you see, the signs, and many people realize exactly how far Chester Water Authority goes, all the way up to the border, Maryland. Right now, there is a bill that has been introduced so that whereas instead of a hostile takeover, the people put it out there, put it as on a vote. I mean, a question on the ballot. Let the people go out and vote, and they will say if yay or nay if they want to sell their municipal bill. Like get gas, water, things of that nature. And you were saying what? Ask me the question again.
What is your platform?
Oh, okay. But just taking care of home locally, what the needs are throughout, whatever they may be, from fully funded summer programs for our children throughout the 159th legislative district, education. And when you and I spoke 2 years back, that education was something that was high up there on my platform before, when I was saying that education needs an upgrade, that our STEM truly is not STEM, and how even the curriculum in which our children are taught, that needs to change, not only for our district, but for the entire state of Pennsylvania. And then here it is, we have COVID, and guess what? I think for the most part, people saw exactly just how much, like the lack of bandwidth, education, our children learning from home, everything that, changed. So, you know what? I don't want Chester Water Authority to be sold. So stopping the sale of Chester Water Authority, providing quality education for our children and summer programs in every community throughout the 159th. Jobs, definitely. We need job creation. The only way to really fully help our neighborhoods and communities to thrive is to help local business, because they are the ones that are the backbone in every community. So even with that, and with our children, we change the culture of our children in a way that they think and the way how they see life, and get them, the younger, the better, then we'll change our community. Change the culture, change the mindset. Yes.
That's weird. That actually might work. Oh, but
yeah.
I'm nobody.
But no. But yes, go ahead. I don't want to.
Right. So how has your platform changed since the first time you ran? Right? Has it changed? Have you altered it, or even the way you're running? Right? Have you changed that? How has since the first time we met in 2017? Right?
Yeah.
Changed to 2020, and you're ready to take this on again?
Yes. The difference is, okay, the work experience and so forth, that remains the same. When you and I met 2 years back, and you basically, and I thank you and I appreciate you reaching out, but being on your show was like my first real like interview, and being out there and, kind of thrown to the wolves. So in that aspect, I'm grateful for the entire experience, because even with what I did with not winning in 2018, I never stopped. If anything, and in the way in which the whole everything in election day went down, it just fueled me more so to be more determined that something has to be done, and I'm not going to stop. As far as my platform, Chester Water Authority wasn't, high up there as it is, now, and especially with the bill, the law, and so forth going on. But yeah, more confidence. It's like starting when you start any job. You're hesitant, like what to expect, the who to what to wear, and even as far as my campaign, you asked about that, correct?
Absolutely. How have you changed? How has the campaign changed, or not changed, or grown since 2018?
In a way in which it had changed and grown. Although in 2019, I may not have been on the ballot, but there were other people out there who were running, helping them with their campaign, helping them to get into their positions, whatever they are. And it didn't matter what party they were. It was basically what they stood for, because again, in helping them, it helps all of us.
Absolutely. So. What is your take on bipartisan government, right? The other party agreeing with the other party to get things done. What's your take on that?
They have to. I don't understand. You can't get anything done unless you do. I don't like extremists at all. No extreme. It doesn't matter who they are, what party, whatever the case may be. Because if you're far right, far left, you're not hearing anyone.
Nobody.
If you're not willing to go wherever and listen to what everyone is saying, first of all, you're doing a disservice to those you serve. We're public servants. And secondly, how is anything going to get done?
It's absolutely hard to get anything done if we're constantly arguing. If we're going back and forth and we're arguing, it's absolutely hard. So, I believe in bipartisanship, right? I think that's the only way to get this ship moving, right? I also believe that the voices from the community have to put people in position that deserve to be there, right? And are actually working for them. Yes. Everyone, not just you, not just her, but everyone's thoughts, everyone's needs, everyone understands, like we all have a basic need. Right?
Yes.
Maslow's hierarchy, right? And that's safety, there's food. And once you reach that, then you go to another need, and you go to another need, right? And that pyramid, it really breaks down, how the people of Chester feel and why they feel so strongly and so deeply about this seat, right? Where it has to be somebody from Chester, because the senator, the congresswoman, and everyone else, They're not from Chester. So it's
Right.
definitely going to make you feel as though you need that thing that's from Chester and
Right.
all about Chester. So I get it. But how do you feel about people that feel that way, right? That the state rep seat should reside and should belong to Chester?
Well, the only way that that would happen would be the equivalent to like what happened, say, with the Civil War. If Chester were to succeed from the 159th. Other than that, Chester isn't by themselves. Whether it's your fight for the changes that you want done and need to have done in your community, you're not in it by yourself. You have everyone all around you that want you to succeed as well. Even if a lot of people within the city, if they don't realize that, say, for example, I remember my real estate career. Most people that I worked with who may live in Wallingford or wherever they live, they all were raised in Chester. You know, they all have a fondness and a heart for the city. But we are all a part of the 159th district. If Chester falls or grows in either way, the same happens to the rest of us.
Absolutely. I agree. And the county benefits from a stronger Chester, right? A stronger
Yeah.
union, stronger city, a
Yes.
stronger centralized banking of votes, a stronger everything. But for so long, it was hard to see that, right?
Right.
Or whatever party was in control. And here we go back to the party, right?
Okay.
The county was Republican since the
Yeah.
Civil War, right? And then it shifted recently and it's
Right.
Democrat. How do you feel as though that benefits you or is seen as a deterrence for voting for the other party?
How does it benefit me? I'll
Right.
say for me, myself, it doesn't change in either way, because my interaction with those that are currently in county, on county council, I had interaction with them prior to them being in the seats that they are in, or even say the chairman, had interaction with him. And if I email him, he'll get back to me. And one of the things that that I've been checking on him and they've been making sure it happens. Most people don't realize unless you're actively serving your sentence, you can vote.
Mm-hmm.
So for those up in George W. Hill who may be awaiting trial, they can vote. They haven't been convicted of anything.
Wow.
They've made sure that whomever was not registered to vote was registered, and people who were registered to vote, that they receive their ballots to go in. So after I leave you today, then I'm going to email to make sure that they pick them up.
Wow.
And even if anyone or any names and so forth in particular, they'd ask me, well, who are they? They check on them and they get back to me. So no, I'm okay with the county. And guess what? I've attended meetings before they were there. I went to one. And when I was there, my take on it when I left was something you said a few moments ago. How can anything get done if you're not listening to each other?
Oh man,
and that's where they left me from that meeting at that time. So,
all right, awesome. Name one of your biggest accomplishments in life, right?
In life?
In life.
Uncle P, that one's hard. I don't know. One of my biggest accomplishments. One thing is something that most people, again, unless you know me, you don't know. Anything that I have, I've never believed that God blessed me with it for just me. So I don't know, a biggest accomplishment. Well, I guess if I had to pick one, it would be as a teenager, basically, and being told by members of everyone, because of the era and time in which I was growing up, okay, that my life was over and I was never going to be anything, pretty much. And there was a place, they had the housing development all picked out, and that's where I would be, and that would be my life. And I was told that at 16. They didn't mean any ill towards me, but I had gotten pregnant. I was pregnant with my daughter. And back then, you didn't do that unless you were married, unless you went down south and you came back with someone who was your soon to be, your cousin, your little brother. It was a tad bit past that point, because even in high school, there was a separate high school that I went to. So if I had to look back over my life and think of, that conversation, and I'm the youngest in my family. Yeah, and to be able to look back, even again at work life, and to be an area manager in Chicago, and my specialty was stores and locations that were failing,
Right.
and the owner of the company asked me to go out there, to help. And when they called, and I asked my husband, I was like, wait a minute, they want me to go there, and he was like, yes, go. But so to go from you're never going, to be much more than what you are now, even to that was, by the grace of God, that was an accomplishment that I can list.
Awesome. I have a question here from Nasir Young,
Okay.
member of the Chestorians. He's also, he's in the Army right now. He's a captain, and he has a question. How do you plan to advocate for the resources needed to create the change you referenced? And also, what is your philosophy to resource allocation as it relates to our county?
As it relates to, what was the last word?
Our county.
As far as the 159th now.
Yes,
not
the 159. Not the entire county, but the 159.
Well,
Right.
Of course, the allocation would be, it would be according to need. Who needs what?
Right.
What needs to go where?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how everything would be allocated. I know that's the second part of his question. What was the first part? How do you plan to advocate for the resources needed to create the change you references? Anyone who know me from the business world, Ogopi, I tell you, what, I am definitely more than what you see before you. And when I'm in business mode, no, you go there, you say what needs to be done. I mean, of course, any situation, say it in Harrisburg, new person come in, you sit back and you figure out the who, to what, to where, who to go to get what it is that you need. And even in the business world, that's what you do. And then you go and you get it. I don't know if I'm answering his question, because if you've ever run a multi-million-dollar company or anything like that, nothing is personal. Nothing's ever personal. Personal and business is totally separate.
Mm.
I haven't known you a long time, but I think, we're not just totally 100% professional, but at the same time, I would expect you to do your job, nothing less. And I wouldn't take it personally.
Right.
So if need be, I just would, you go, you do it.
You do it. You get it done.
You do it.
Get it done.
Show up. Yeah.
I need you to name one of your biggest losses or areas of improvement. Right? One of your biggest losses or an area of improvement.
I see loss as it's a learning process. So every loss to me is a good one. As long as you learn from it, keep it moving, it's all good. Biggest improvement is from as far as running the campaign over the past 2 years. Again, no, I never stopped. Actually, even that next day, I was up writing my list, what needed to be done, being out there and being in the community, even if whomever may be watching this right now, whether they have seen a photo or photos of me doing what I was doing, then that's fine. Doesn't mean that I wasn't. So from Chester to Chester Township, trainer, their summer program, the police, actually, and in the course of doing that and being in every place in the 159th, I've been recruiting a team of people in their different specialties and fields. So even when I talk about the summer program for all of the children, I already have a person that does a great job of that where they live. And I've already asked them and they're like, yes. So in order to hit the ground from day one, running and just so improve, I just continue to go to be more determined than ever. And something has to give, something has to change. I believe we have to vote, which I've always done. And of course, as America, people could do whichever they prefer, but vote locally, because locally and what happens locally will affect our area a lot faster than on a federal level. And when we talked about splitting the vote, you can pick and choose whomever you want, but not to let whomever may feel on the national level affect how you vote on the local level.
Well, local politics are the best politics, right? You get to directly affect your area and your county and your district. So, state representative, senator, congresswoman, congressman, congresswoman, however it works out. Right.
Judges.
You want
yes.
You want to be able to get out there and to elect the person that best suits your city, your municipality, or whatever you live in, right? So I think local elections are the best elections, and they're extremely important.
They are.
So with all that 2020 has shown us from COVID, social inequalities, how would you sum up this year?
I know I've seen a lot of posts on social media. People are like, they can't wait until 2021. 2020 has been a bust. I summoned up as a year and a time for change. I don't think 2020 has been a bust. I think if anything, between COVID and everything else, it has shined a light on all of our flaws, all of our exposures, what they are, what needs to be done, who was there, who wasn't there. Actually, and I kind of feel like I am in my element based on especially what I said to you about my work life and experience. No, if I was showing up at a store prior to the recession of 2008, that life part of my life, different chapters, as a manager, the person there was being fired. So the store was a failing store. So be it inventory, hours, whatever the case may be, it wasn't profitable. It needed help. So if I was showing up, the manager had just found out they were losing their job. And that's kind of what my specialty was with that company. Just seeing what needed to be fixed and just doing it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So give a word of advice to someone who might be thinking of running or starting a political career.
You know what? Whenever, say, that election may be, say if it's 2 years out, start now. Definitely go for it. Whether people realize it or not, the past 2018 and this year, 2020, on the local level, I'm dealing with Harrisburg, there have been more women and millennials that have run for office than ever before. I was even impressed, the 25, 27, 30, 33. No, you're old enough. Do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So any last words you want to say?
You know what? Anyone who, if you have a question, call me, reach out, whichever manner is best for whomever. I get back to you. I will call. And I would just say, you know what? Get to know the person. Local does matter. It matters with the different offices that you mentioned. And then what I was saying was district magistrate, the judges in media, and so forth. Your school board, that's all a part of local also. But vote locally.
Vote locally.
Yeah, vote locally. Everyone else, the machines are different, right? They're new
Absolutely.
machines. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I've been holding training course classes and so forth. I had many more scheduled, but that was prior to COVID. So now they've been smaller, and just vote.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time out to join me, and answering my 10 questions. It's supposed to be 15 minutes, but, I truly appreciate it. I wish you good luck.
Thank
you. And tell you to keep the fight. Keep on fighting.
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
All right.
B7. Bye.
Have a good one.
You as well.
Listen, man. Great interview, right? With a great candidate. November 3rd, get out and vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for. That's the last thing I'll tell you to do, right? But I will tell you to go out there and vote, right? Research your candidate, understand your candidate, understand the things that you want to change in your community, right? You can't get any different result doing the same thing, right? Or maybe you can if that new thing is doing something different, cool. If the old thing is doing something different, cool. If you feel as though this city is served and it has everything it needs, then there's no need to change anything. That's how you feel. Go vote. Make sure you go vote. Make sure you make your voice heard. You can't get anything doing the same thing. Nothing new doing the same thing over and over and over again. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for their words. Right. And we're going to continue to do this. Is a radio station. So, we got to interview people. We got to talk to people on a constant basis. That's what we're going to do. So at cmpradio.net, man, it's Uncle P. Always reminding you, man, be positive, be real, stay true. Peace.
Vote like your life depends on it.
Vote.
Vote.
Vote. Vote.
Vote. Vote.
Vote. Vote because it's your chance to be the change you like to see in this country and in your community.
Get out and vote.
If you want to see change in your community, go out and vote.
Vote for yourself. Vote for your future. Vote for what matters to you. Don't make it about a party. Make it about yourself. Vote for what you think is best. Just vote.